Hello everyone and happy December. I can't believe 2025 is already almost over. This year went by so fast for me, but I'm soaking in the last few moments of the year by really being present and celebrating the winter season. I love this time of year. I know not everyone does, but I just love the colder temperatures and the festivity that begins to show in the shops and in our homes. For this month's theme, I went with a little rat family celebrating Christmas and enjoying the holidays together. On the left page, I have drawn a cozy fireplace scene where there's some cheese presents and some stockings hung. I pre-drew and outlined my entire bullet journal because this theme is a little more intricate than my previous ones, so in today's video you'll get to see all my weekly spreads and also some additional pages I added specifically for the month of December. Coloring in each of these scenes was so therapeutic and it really got me more into the Christmas spirit. It was like a holiday coloring book. I made sure to make the fire nice and cozy with deep warm colors and finished off the fireplace with some darker stones, a nice rich mantle, and a stunning red bow. On the right page, I drew a lovely Christmas scene where my two rat friends are decorating the tree and bringing gifts to place under the festive tree. I went with a very colorful Christmas theme this year. Somehow it just feels more nostalgic and cozier than just sticking to a red and green theme. I made my rats bundled up with thick sweaters and scarves. I added in December in a calligraphy style and began coloring in the tree. I adorned it with all different colored ornaments and golden lights. I used two different greens, a darker one for the shading and a lighter one for the rest of the tree. I added in a fun purple rug and then began coloring in my little rats. The best part of this was choosing their outfits and what colors they were going to wear. I made them have fun striped scarves and rosy cheeks, which was very cute. For my calendar page, I started with writing December in big calligraphy on the top left-hand side of the page. I then began drawing the individual boxes for my days of the month, and I went with a 5x5 square shape. In the right-hand corner, I also added a sweet little scene of my two rats holding hands and standing under the mistletoe together. Above the top boxes, I added in red and green headers where the days of the week will be written. I went back and colored in my rats, choosing the same outfits for them as I did on my cover page. Next, I went in randomly and gave each of my calendar boxes a colorful circle in the bottom right-hand corner. These are going to be small little ornaments where I will number the days of the month. On the left side of the page, I had some extra room, so I added in two boxes, one for my notes and the other for any major events. The entire page looked a little bare, so I went in and drew and outlined in some stars to add a little magic into the page. For my habit tracker, I first added in my calligraphy header. I then drew my 9 mini calendar boxes. For the bottom section of the page, I drew some hanging lights with some bows and 2 small mice, one with a book in hand and the other just standing, having a conversation with each other. I filled in the habit box headers with some vibrant colors and began coloring in my cute little mice. I added in the days of the month to each box and labeled each header with my habits. For my mood tracker, I again added in my calligraphy header. I then started outlining 3 mice, caroling, obviously, while trying to untangle some Christmas lights. I added in some cheese presents in the empty spaces along with some music notes. I added in 31 light bulbs, which will act as my daily mood tracker. I filled in the speech bubbles with some of the lyrics of Christmas Time Is Here from A Charlie Brown Christmas. I just had to because this song is so nostalgic. I added in the colors for my daily mood tracker. And then I decided to color in all of my rats in their cute little outfits, and then also the cheese presents that were scattered. For my playlist page, I added in my calligraphy header once again, and then drew these 6 large boxes where I will put the album cover and song title of my most listened to songs this month. At the bottom, I added in a cute little rat dragging along a Christmas tree and colored that in, and then I added in stars along the rest of the page, and finished it off by adding some colorful drop shadows. Once again, keeping the brain dump page fairly clear, I just added in this dark forest green border and then added in brain dump in calligraphy up at the top, and then I drew in this sweet little rat's head down at the bottom right hand corner with some stars surrounding him. I added in a new page, and it is this line a day page, and I feel like this is especially good to add during like the holidays, just to kind of reflect on that day or to put any gratitude that you may have for this day. So I wanted to add this. I did it very colorful with each line a different color, and then I added in a little rat at the bottom right hand corner where there was some extra space, and he's just holding a present. For my next 2 pages, I added in a present planning page and a budget page. I just want to keep track of who I'm getting for what person and then how much it costs. Moving on to our week 1 spread, I added December up at the top in calligraphy and then added in these 11 by 11 boxes throughout the page to act as my task box for that day. And in between each of the boxes, I added in a little scene. Some of them are just presents and bows, but others have, little mice singing and, holding ornaments or holding presents. I then colored in the header boxes, and the task boxes I put in a colorful drop shadow that corresponded to the header color. Then I colored in all of these small little drawing scenes. I made them as vibrant as possible. It really was a lot of fun trying to figure out each rat outfit. And then I labeled in each of my boxes with the day of the week. For my week 2, I added December in calligraphy at the top. Then I added in a small little calendar. And then beneath that, I put 2 smaller boxes, one for my notes and then the other for any major events that are happening this week. And then I sectioned off the main portion of the pages in boxes, and those are going to be my task boxes. I drew elongated ovals at the top left of each of the sections. These are going to be my headers for the days of the week. And then on the right side of the page, I put any deadlines that I need to have done in a box at the top. And then for next week, anything that I don't get to that I need to goes here. And then I labeled everything and put stars around the outside just because, again, I thought it looked a little bare. Okay, for week 3, again, with the December label and then the mini calendar up at the top left, I put my notes section to the right of that and then had these elongated vertical boxes throughout the page that are going to be my task boxes. I drew in a very cute scene of these 3 rats holding hands together and singing a song with music notes around them. For the task boxes, I added in these colorful circles and I labeled them with the days of the week. I added drop shadows on everything and then colored in the rats. For my week 4, I added December in very bold, very big calligraphy. And then I added in these individual boxes beneath that. Up at the top, I added in a string of lights. And on the right side of the page, I added another mini calendar and a mini events box. I added in these curved boxes where I was going to put the days of the week. This weekly spread is a lot less intricate than the other weeks. And then I colored everything in, including the lights. For my final weekly spread, I just did a half a page because it kind of really wasn't a week, it was just 3 days, but I just added in 3 equally spaced boxes and I put an ornament in each box and wrote the days of the week in there. I colored those in and obviously added drop shadows, and then again put the stars along the outer border. And then on the right side of the page, I had an empty space, so I just wanted to put some 2025 reflections, and then I added in a cute little rat standing beneath the stars, reflecting. Okay, this is something that I do every single month, but I don't show it because it's my last page, but I do these month in pictures where I will dedicate a full 2 pages and print out pictures that I took on like my iPhone that month and paste them here, kind of like a scrapbooking memento area. So I just added this in, did a cute little border of colorful lights, and added a sweet rat. And then my final page, I added in this goodbye 2025 because my journal is done. And here is the final flip through of my December bullet journal theme. I love this month's theme. It's so vibrant and so colorful. And I love rats. I think they're so cute. And the colors are Christmas, but also not, but also yes, and nostalgic. And I don't know, I just really love this theme a lot. And I think I utilize the extra pages well. I know I'm going to definitely need this because the Christmas season is always so busy and you just need this to be done ahead of time so you can really just enjoy spending time with your friends and family. And so I hope you also have a wonderful time with your friends and family or whoever you are celebrating with. And even if you are not celebrating Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful season and a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great new year and a great holiday.